I like about Kanata is, aside from their efficient admin and communication skills, they are very supportive on a professional level, but at the same time, you could feel that personal touch. They care about you not because that's what they do, but because it's who they are. That's a rare quality that you can find in consultancy and feel in the way they work with you. Actually, I already did. I mean, why would I do something so great? If you're looking for a strong support system and very excellent in admin skills, then Kanata is the right education consultancy for you. Physical setup of classes, well, experience being immersed in Canada's culture, and that will stretch my mind.
So, kumusta naman yung experience nyo with Kanata Education, syempre? Tinulungan
Alam mo, in all honesty, sobrang laki ko ng sabi ng Kanata kasi step by step, yung pagtulong nila, talaga yung genuine concern and support nila. Hindi lang sila yung agency na basta makakuha ng pera or pagpasa lang or ma-check lang ng document. Sila ma-check ng document. Makulit sila, matay sila. They see to it that everything is in order before they launch the visa application. So alam mo, hindi lang yung feeling ng may trust ka, pero feeling mo rin Kanata ka sa application kasi alam mo na-check na maayos at talagang pinaglaanan ng oras yung document.
Aside from their efficient admin and communication skills, they are very supportive on a professional level, but at the same time, you can feel that personal touch. They care about you not because that's what they do, but because it's who they are. And I think that's a rare quality that you can find in consultancy and feel in the way they work with you. Actually, I already did. I mean, why would I do something so good, right? If you're looking for a strong support system and very excellent in admin skills, then Kanata is the right education consultancy for you. Physical setup of classes. Well, deep down experience being immersed in Canada's culture. I believe that will stretch my mind and knowledge.
Kumusta naman yung experience nyo with Kanata Education? Siyempre. Tinulungan
Alam mo, in all honesty, sobrang laki ng tulong sa amin. Kasi, step by step, yung pagtulong nila, ramdam mo talaga yung genuine concern and support nila. Hindi lang sila yung agency na basta makakuha ng pera or pagpasa lang or ma-check lang ng document. Sila mag-check ng document. Makulit sila, matay sila. They see to it that everything is in order before they launch sa application. So, alam mo, hindi lang yung feeling ng, may trust ka, pero feeling mo rin, panatag ka sa application. Kasi alam mo na-check ng maayos at talagang pinagdaanan ng oras yung document.
All right. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon and welcome to Kanata Education Consultancy Services free webinar. Thank you so much for spending your Saturday afternoon with us, rain or shine. Nakapumasyal na po ba lahat sa mall? All right. So, again, welcome to those of our kababayan na nasa ibang bansa. Good morning sa inyo. I think it's still noontime there in the Middle East. And right now, we have two very special speakers. So today, East meet West. So parang boxing lang, no? But kidding aside, our speakers for today are from Fanshawe College, which is located in London City, Ontario, and from University of Canada West, or UCW, which is located in Vancouver, British Columbia. So for those of you who are torn between choosing Ontario province or British Columbia province, this is your chance or your opportunity to really get to know more about these locations. So let's all welcome our very first speaker for this afternoon's webinar. Let's give the floor to Miss Ina Dizon, ladies first, from Fanshawe College. Hello and good afternoon, Miss Ina.
Hi Christina, hi Catherine, and hi Francis, and also hi to Alex who's here, and of course all of you who's tuning in this webinar via Zoom and also dun sa live stream natin today. So let me just share my screen, and there. Can you guys see it?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, perfect. Okay, so if ever you have questions, feel free to type it in the chat box so that we can discuss it later on. So first things first, let's talk about Fanshawe College. So Fanshawe is located in London, Ontario, like what Christina mentioned. So London City is 2 hours away from Toronto Airport, meaning our Toronto Airport is actually the main entry point for our students. Even if you don't have any family member who can fetch you from the airport, don't worry because we have an arrival service for all of our international students that I will discuss later on. In terms of our student population, we have 22,000 full-time students and 7,500 of them are international students representing 104 different countries. So right now, Philippines is the second biggest market or country in the international student population of Fanshawe. So medyo madami na din talagang Pinoy ang nandun and many of them are actually coming from Kanata Education. In terms of how we deliver our programs, it's very different than what we used to here in the Philippines. So in Canada, we practice experiential learning, specifically in our college, because we want our students, both domestic and international, to develop the knowledge and the skills needed by the industry. So from the start of crafting or developing the curriculum for the programs that we offer, we don't only just get the feedback from subject matter experts and from professors, but same goes with our industry partners. Because our students, when they finish their program in college or in Fanshawe, they will be their future employers. So we want to know what type of skill sets that they are looking for a potential employee. What level of knowledge are they looking for their employees, and also what type of systems, technologies, and also the facilities that they have currently in the industry, so that we can incorporate that in terms of the delivery of our programs. And one of our best, let's say, best best practices in terms of experiential learning is many of our programs would have placements and co-op. So ano ba yung placement and co-op? So probably institutions in Canada would be different in terms of their definition for these two terms. But for Fanshawe, placements within our programs will include field placement, internship, externship, and mentorship. So those are the terminologies that we have under placement. Also, placements are shorter in terms of duration. Let's say you are a student in gerontology, so you will have a placement in that program. So you have to spend a few hours every week within that specific semester, probably in a clinic or in a hospital. So for you to complete that requirement before you can move on to your next semester. Also, placements are not generally paid, but it will depend on the industry that you're in, or if, let's say, the company that you're spending your placement will give you some sort of incentives or allowances. Co-op are, on the other hand, is actually paid internship. So that's the main definition of co-op or cooperative education. So we have a number of programs with co-op as well. And for co-op, it's longer in terms of duration. So the minimum is 4 months, the maximum is 8 months. And it's done usually during winter and summertime, because that's also the months wherein our partner companies would need increased number of manpower. That's why they're opening co-op opportunities during those times as well. So it's usually done between second and third semester, or in some cases after your academic semesters. And also, co-op again is paid internship, so you can earn higher than minimum wage. And also, some companies, if they are very much generous, they can provide the entry-level salary of the company if you're going to spend your time with them during your co-op. So this experiential learning, being able to have placements and co-op within our programs, will also be an advantage for you when you look for jobs after graduation. And now let's talk about the programs that we offer. So in Fanshawe, we have many programs that we offer, and also there's specialized programs as well. such as aviation. Not all schools in Canada can offer aviation, but we have one. We have professional butchery techniques, which is also a specialized program. We have as well game design. We have we also have agribusiness management, nutrition. That are These are just some of our highly specialized programs. And of course, we have the more common programs in business with different specializations: community studies and education, construction and trades, culinary arts, design, health sciences, IT. There's nursing as well, science and engineering, and also tourism, hospitality, and transportation. So hopefully the program that you're eyeing for in Canada, we have that in Fanshawe College. And in terms of the credentials that you can complete, we have 4-year degree programs. We have post-secondary certificate, that is 1 year. We have diploma, that is 2 years. Advanced diploma, which we have is 3 years. And also graduate certificate programs for you if you want to do skills upgrading in Canada, which is usually 1 year to 2-year programs. So I know it's kind of overwhelming if you're bombarded with a lot of information, especially the choice of program. But this next slide will somehow give you a guide on how you can narrow down your choice of program based on the credentials that you have and also the postgraduate opportunities that we can provide for you. So with our attendees today, you may have different types of credentials. So I hope you would know which one will apply to you. So the first category that we have for Filipino students in Fanshawe would be high school graduates. So these are students who finished 4th year high school, and if we will follow the K-12 system that we have right now, you're technically grade 10. So if you did not finish college or you started college but did not continue, you will fall under this category. And yes, if you know someone or you are in this specific category, yes, we can accept you in Fanshawe, but you have to take 1 year general arts and science before you can continue to any 1 to 3 year post-secondary program. The general arts and science, which is a prerequisite course for you based on your category, will compensate for the missing grades 11 and 12 and the college degree that you normally receive from an international applicant. If, let's say, you finish 2 complete years in college, or for example, you have an associate degree of 2 years and you have a diploma that will prove that one, you can be exempted from general arts and science and can proceed directly to a post-secondary program. Many of our students in this category are actually OFWs. They finished high school, they went to let's say Middle East, and because they want to help their family, and now they're exploring better opportunities in Canada. So that is the first category. The second one would be, I think, applies to the majority of you. You're both high school and college graduates. So here, basically, you can apply to any programs that we offer. It will just depend on how long you plan to study and also your program of interest. For those of you who already got a master's degree or let's say even a PhD and you want to study in Fanshawe, you will fall under the second category. And the third one, if we have parents here of grades 11 and 12 and you want to send them to Canada, we can accept your kids and they can proceed directly to a post-secondary program, either 1 year to 3 years, or if they want to study as a degree in Fanshawe College, they can do that one as well if they finish grade 11 and 12. So with the credentials that you have right now in the Philippines or wherever you are, as long as you're a Filipino student and you finish any program in Fanshawe that we offer to international students and that is considered full-time, if you study a 1 year program, you may be eligible to a 1 year post-graduation work permit. And if you study at least a 2 year program, or in some cases, our graduate certificate programs are normally 1 year only. So if your goal is to get a longer post-graduation work permit or PGWP, my recommendation for you is to study 2 1 year programs. So at least if you finish the 2 1 year programs, you may be eligible to up to 3 year post-graduation work permit. So why is Fanshawe providing this type of opportunity? Because we are a public college in Canada and we are a designated learning institution, which means all of our programs are eligible for post-graduation work permit. Even our preparatory courses like general arts, also pre-health, pre-media, like preparatory courses, they are also eligible for a post-graduation work permit. If let's say you're in this first category and your plan is to only study for 2 years because that's your you only have funds for 2 years. Since general arts and sciences is a prerequisite for you, you can consider continuing to a 1 year post-secondary certificate program. So it's like a 1+1, and you may be eligible to up to 3 year post-graduation work permit. So technically, all of your investments to Fanshawe College for your education will not be put to waste because probably Kanata will also discuss this later on. The PGWP is your eligibility to legally stay in Canada. So if you are aiming to transition from a study permit to a work permit, that's the best time to do it. Also, if you want to apply for permanent residency and you want to earn points for that, you can do that during your PGWP period. And I hope this guide will help you. And if ever you have questions about program matching, program recommendation, I would highly suggest for you guys to book an appointment with Kanata Education team so that they can help you moving forward. And now let's talk about the student services that we have. So when you're still here in the Philippines or when you're about to start your program, I, together with Kanata Education, we are your contact persons. So we will help you with everything until pre-departure. But once that you arrive in Canada, we have the Fanshawe Cares Arrival Service Program. So it's a free transportation for all of our students coming into Canada for the first time. If you're traveling with your family, you just have to let us know that you're traveling with your family so that we can arrange a transportation for your whole family. And also, so that is from Toronto Airport to London City, wherein we'll be driving you to your permanent accommodation. But if in case by 2022, which is a few weeks from now, there's still a quarantine policy in place, we have partner hotels in London City, wherein you can stay for 14-day quarantine. And we have preferred rates if you are a Fanshawe student. Also, if ever you have questions about being an international student, we have the International Center who can help you. So with any program, admission, and student immigration related concerns, you can schedule an appointment or you can drop by the International Center to talk to someone. Also, for academic assistance, we have the Learning Center and you have your own program coordinator and academic advisors. So my advice for students is that if you think that you're having a hard time with your subjects in your program, please do not hesitate to reach out to your program coordinator and academic advisors because they are there to help you with any issues or any concerns that you may have. Please do not wait until you're about to finish your semester already because it might be too late for you to get back on track. So as early as possible, please reach out to them. They won't bite you, they won't reprimand you, they will just really help you get back on track. And also, of course, for you not to fail your subject for that specific semester. Also, if you're doing well academically, you can apply for scholarships and bursaries. So our scholarships are merit-based, so you have to finish at least one semester to apply for a scholarship in Fanshawe. And our scholarship and bursaries would range from 500 to 2,000 Canadian dollars. And the last student service that I would like to highlight today would be our Career and Employment Service Center. So everything that you need to know about employment and job readiness in Canada, even if you're still a student, please reach out to the Career and Employment Service Center. We have career fairs all year round. We have career coaching. We have workshops for you. We can help you create your Canadian resume or build your profile in LinkedIn. And also, as a Fanshawe student, you have access to a dashboard full of job opportunities for part-time, summer, and full-time jobs coming from our industry partners and also from LEDC. The good thing about this dashboard for job postings is that you have access to it 5 years from your graduation date. So at least if you move to a different city, you move to a different province, we can still help you to jumpstart your career in Canada. And now let's talk about the most important thing, the tuition fee and living expenses. So program tuition and fees in Fanshawe for 1 year or 2 semesters can range from 16 to 18,000 Canadian dollars. And for our international students, you have to pay your first semester tuition fee in full around 2 to 3 months before the start of class. You will be receiving an email or an invoice with regards to the total amount that you have to pay. Also, your tuition and fees is inclusive of bus pass. So if you are familiar with Beat Card, your ID in Fanshawe, you just need to tap it every time you ride the bus around London City, and it's free of charge. So that will save you a lot of money because you can use the bus pass not only going to the campus, but also going to the grocery, to your part-time job, picking up your kid or your spouse at work, and whatnot. So that's free of charge. And your tuition fee is also inclusive of medical insurance. That covers hospitalizations, procedures, medical consultations, even dental and vision. That's part of your insurance. Also, for accommodation, specifically off-campus housing, you can expect to spend around 6,000 to 8,000 Canadian dollars. And for our Filipino students who are already in Canada, the reason why they choose Fanshawe College is because of our city. I know it's 2 hours away from Toronto, which many Filipino students, Filipino families are there already. But in terms of accommodation, they can get a more affordable rate because London City is actually 40% more affordable in terms of accommodation if you will compare it into other cities in Greater Toronto area. So for example, you're looking for a single bed occupancy accommodation that is inclusive of rent, utilities, and Wi-Fi. You can get as low as 450 CAD per month. But in Greater Toronto area, it may be around 600, 800 to even 1,000 Canadian dollars. And also, if you have a family, let's say you're planning to at least get a 2-bedroom apartment. In London City, it's around 1,600 Canadian dollars. But in Greater Toronto, it can get as high as 2,000, 2,500 Canadian dollars. Some of the students in Greater Toronto area would even opt to move outside the city because living in the city where your school is located will be very costly. And also for many Filipino students, they don't have any family members in Ontario. There's a few who would probably have family members in Toronto or in Greater Toronto area wherein they can stay for their accommodation and they can just spend for their living expenses and for their tuition fee. But that's not the case to many Filipino international students. So if you don't have any family members in the province, or if you are starting your new life in Canada on your own, London City is actually a great place for you. And furthermore, for books and other expenses, it's not part of the tuition fee that you're paying for. So you can expect to spend around 500 to 2,000 Canadian dollars. This will include uniforms, probably some minor equipment, laptops, and whatnot for your program. And now let's talk about the application requirements. So the minimum requirements that we need from you would be your school credentials. So for post-secondary programs, we need both your high school and college transcripts and diplomas. And then for graduate certificate programs, we just need your college transcript and diploma. And if the program would require other documents such as portfolio, training certificates, and whatnot, you also have to upload that one to get your letter of acceptance. Also, Fanshawe doesn't require IELTS, any English test, or certificate of MOI for Filipinos during application, except for these two programs, pharmacy technician and occupational therapy. Aside from other programs, aside from these two, they are not requiring IELTS for Filipino students. And right now, we are processing application as early as May 2022 and as late as September 2023. So if you are quite sure about your program and also for your school of choice as well, you can send in your documents via Kanata Education and we can process your letter of acceptance as soon as possible. So that's the end of my presentation. If you want to know more about Fanshawe, feel free to check out our website and also our social media pages. And if ever you will apply to Fanshawe College after this webinar and through Kanata Education, we are going to waive your 100 CAD application fee. So I hope you choose Fanshawe College as your school of choice in Canada. And if ever you have questions, please keep it because we'll be answering that one after all of the presentations. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that very informative presentation, Ms. Ina. So now let's go to the western border of Canada. Let's all welcome Sir Alexis Martinez from UCW or University of Canada West. Hello, Sir Alexis. Hi!
Hoy, musta? Balita. ano meron? Hi everyone. Thank you Christina, no? Kay Catherine, kay Francis, syempre kay Ina, no? From Pancho. Always beautiful, no? All right. So ano ba, start na ako, no? Thank you very much for attending, ano? So we got a very good number of participants, around 30s, ano? I'm Alex Martinez of University Canada West. I'm the regional director for Southeast Asia for student recruitment. I also handle here in the Philippines. And also based here in the Philippines. Basically, thank you for attending, and then I'll just going to give my presentation about UCW. Yeah, kita na siya. All right, so I'll introduce University Canada West. So our school is located in Vancouver in British Columbia. So nandito kami sa western side. So kanina si Fanshawe nandun sa eastern side, sa Ontario. Okay. Throughout this presentation, I'll talk about UCW, our programs, yung student support na binibigay namin, career opportunities that we do, next generation na maybe I'll just skip on that one. About Vancouver, the lovely city of Vancouver where our school is located, yung campuses natin, some of the testimonials and the steps, what you need to do to apply for University Canada West. All right, so about UCW, we have about 4,000 plus students worldwide from 90 plus countries. And we have 2 campuses in the downtown area of Vancouver, British Columbia. So our demographics, we have 46% male and 54% are women. And then the youngest student that we have is 16 years old. And the oldest that we have is 59 years old. Okay, so isang taon na lang pala, no? Senior na siya. Well, from the Philippines, the oldest that we have approved is 55 years old. So it's only saying that age is not really a big factor when you will be applying here at UCW. Okay, so we also have this accreditation, memberships, and designations, most especially here at the British Columbia Education Quality Assurance. So meaning to say that we are a legitimate school, that we are giving for international students. Okay, so what are the other selling points that we have for UCW? We have flexible intakes. Pag sinabi natin intakes, ito yung start of classes. So we got 4 intakes, that's in October, January, April, and July. We got proven employability para sa aming MBA students that 100% have employment within 6 months of graduation. Convenient because you can do both online and on campus. But starting last October, we already do the face-to-face classes. Okay, we give financial support such as the scholarship or grants that we give automatically for students. Our faculties are experienced. They are not just academic professors, but they have this real-world experience since they are former managers, marketing managers, vice presidents, and the likes. Okay? And of course, PGWP eligibility, that ating international students, once they completed their program, they are eligible up to 2 to 3 years of post-graduation work permit. Okay. And then faster completion of our programs for motivated students. I'll tell you how later on. So we are student-centric. Nagbibigay tayo ng free support, free of charge sa ating mga UCW students, small class sizes. So we only have around 10, 15, or sometimes only 20 inside the classroom dito sa UCW. So it will be much more convenient and comfortable. And of course, mga COVID restrictions. Well, actually, before COVID, we tend to keep our classes small. Okay, so it does not necessarily mean na konti ang students namin. Ha? And then we have two prime location in having two campuses in the heart of the downtown area of Vancouver. We also do transfer credits para doon sa mga students who are undergraduate but who will be taking up again the same course. So there will be some subjects that will be credited para mas mapaikli yung duration of the program. And of course, diversity, because yung ating students came from 90 plus countries worldwide. Okay, and there are a lot of Filipino students who are now being enrolled here at UCW, and some of them coming here from Kanata. Okay, now we are DLI listed, and then we do give refund. We do have a refund guarantee, which means that if the student will be having a visa refusal, we will be giving back their initial tuition fee deposit, but minus some admin fees. But the admin fees is just minimal, it's around 250 Canadian dollars. Okay? So, ano ba yung programs natin? So, pag sinabi nating programs, ito yung mga ating courses that we are offering. Okay? So, even though that UCW is a university, we only give courses much particularly about business programs. Okay, so we have it in the undergraduate and the graduate program. So the undergraduate natin, we got the Associate of Arts, Bachelor of Commerce, and the Bachelor of Arts in Business Communication. And then yung graduate program natin is yung Masters of Business Administration. So I'll explain all these courses or this program. So Bachelor of Commerce, okay, it's a 4-year degree which only focuses on accounting and business communication. While in Bachelor of Arts, like a combination of business and communication arts. Both program is for 4 years and the focus is mainly on business. Now, I give this primarily, or I only focus on endorsing this for those students who are just a fresh graduate from high school. I don't give this for those students, or even though that they're insisting, I don't really recommend this for those students who already have a bachelor's degree coming from here in the Philippines. Okay, so why? First of all, meron siyang 4-year degree. Okay, so I don't like him to take up another 4 years just to finish up yung kanyang pag-aaral in Canada. No? So what I always give, or what I always recommend, is yung Masters of Business Administration for those students who already have a bachelor's degree here from the Philippines, regardless of program. Why is that? First, 2-year program lang siya. But in reality, you can finish it up only for 1.5 years, and then you're still eligible doon sa PGWP, or you can stay and work full-time up to 2 to 3 years upon completion of the program. Secondly, it has a logical progression. So if you finish up your bachelor's program, it is much more logical that you take up in a higher level of education, which is your master's program. So aside from that, okay, mas mataas yung inyong pag-aaralan or yung level of education, then you are much more qualified after graduating to apply for a higher level position, such as pwede kang maging supervisor or manager, because you are much more armed, you are much more equipped, and you have the eligibility because of the program of Masters in Business Administration. And lastly, because it is a higher program, I would say that your visa application will have a lesser risk, even though that you are a matured student. Granting na maganda yung papers nyo is very much complete, or not really doubtful. Okay, so what am I saying is that even though that you're a matured student, okay, you're in the 30s or in the 40s, and then you apply for the MBA program, because it is common, or it is normal that matured students take up this particular course. So if you will be applying for an MBA in UCW in Canada, I believe your your visa application will have a lesser risk because of this program. Okay? So, paano ba mag-apply with UCW MBA program? Okay, first, you need to have a bachelor's degree from a recognized school, college, or university. So, when we say recognized, this is under the Commission of Higher Education. And have a cumulative GPA of 3 out of 4.33 scale. So, that is around 2.5, and we will be studying in a 1 to 5 grade point. And then have one of the following. I'll just explain number 4 and number 5 because this is much more easier to get rather than 2 and 3, in which that we are not very strict at in getting this document. So let's just go for number 4 and number 5. Okay, so you need to have a bachelor's degree in business administration or in commerce or its equivalent, or have a minimum 3 years documented professional or management experience. So how is that? So let's have some example. Let's say student A have this bachelor's degree in business and also have this GPA, then he's qualified to go for the master's program directly. Okay. Now, let's say student B graduated from, let's say pharmacy, but has a 3 years management experience as an area manager of pagiging medrep niya. And just as an example, then he is qualified to go for our MBA direct program. And then on student C na nag-apply, let's say that he graduated from education and then all throughout his career, naging teacher siya. And then wanted to apply for our MBA program. He does not have a bachelor's degree in business and he also don't have any management experience. Are we going to reject this applicant? No. We can still accept them, but they will be having an additional program which is called the MBA Foundation Program. Okay, so the MBA Foundation Program is a 3-month program or for 1 term, which is given or required for students who don't have those, who did not fulfill or satisfy those entry requirements for the direct entry. Yung example ko kanina, hindi sila pwede. So, if their background is quite far from going for the direct program, they need to take the foundation program, a 3-month foundation program, or a pre-masters. Okay, so this will be preparing them to go for our MBA and take up this following courses or subjects such as business and academic writing, quantitative skills for business, and economics for business perspective. So para siyang preparatory program. But nevertheless, if the student feel or just miss something in his resume or it's in background and is really qualified for the MBA direct program, then we can still make an appeal dito sa foundation program to waive it off. Okay, so but that will be another process or another story pag meron na kayo ng application with the UCW with Kanata. Okay, now, ano ba yung bakit student support na binibigyan namin sa ating mga student? Okay, so basically we also have this certain services, mga international student advisors that will be assisting or helping you when you go to Canada. Okay, so they will be like a big brother to you. They will be assisting you in your academics, such as in academic advising or some peer-to-peer program and things like that. Okay, so we also have do some student orientation for our students so that they will be will not be culture shock. They would be have a good expectation versus realities when they arrive there in UCW or particularly in Vancouver. Okay, it's gonna be a different environment. It's also be a different scenario too. Okay, so they will be there to assist you para hindi ka naman manibago sa bagong kultura. We give scholarship for international students, most especially here, the Southeast Asia Regional Grant. So the Southeast Asia Regional Grant is given to international students coming from Southeast Asia, which includes the Philippines, that give you an automatic scholarship amounting to 7,000 Canadian dollars for our MBA program. So there's no need for you to apply. There's no need for us to check your credentials or your grades. But once you have your offer letter, we will be including this Southeast Asia Regional Grant, and this scholarship will be deducted automatically doon sa inyong total tuition fees of MBA. right? So this is just saying that we give this generously. Okay, now if you have a very good grades when you were in college, then you could be applicable for the academic scholarship award. Okay, so for academic excellence, so this is around 10,000 Canadian dollars. That will be deducted also for you. Okay. Now, so what are the career opportunities? Ano? So we have this career development center that will be assisting you in making resumes, how to do interview skills, some job searching techniques, and the things like that. Why do we have such? Okay, first, because as a student in Canada, or as a student in Vancouver or in UCW, you are eligible to work up to 20 hours per week while you are studying. Okay, so this may alleviate your cost while you're studying, and also can give you, experience in the workforce there in Canada. Okay, and during term break, you are eligible up to 40 hours of full-time job. Okay, so pagdating ng break mo, trabaho ka ng full-time, okay lang yun. Okay, so that's where our career development center come in. They will be assisting you in finding jobs. They will be assisting you and coaching you para kung gumaling sa interview, para when you apply for this for part-time job or even for full-time job, when you have your PGWP, you are prepared and you can be get employed immediately and easier. Okay. Now I'll just give some spotlight on the city of Vancouver. So it's one of the famous and progressive city in Canada. They have a very good economic standing. So this is also a big city or a bustling city that they can give you a lot of an opportunity kasi nga it's it's a commercial city. Okay. Now it's also one of the top 10 most livable cities in the world. The peace and order here is also outstanding. And also one of the world's most sustainable cities. Okay, and then we are in the province of British Columbia. It's in the border also of Seattle, in the United States. Seattle, Washington, sharing border, and I would say somehow our climate here in British Columbia or in Vancouver is much more warmer compared with other cities in Canada. Okay, so it's also ideal for students coming from the tropical countries such as the Filipino student. Okay. You can also experience the four seasons, and what I particularly like here in Vancouver during summer, para ka rin nasa Pilipinas mas malamig ng konti. Parang summer din ng Baguio. And then we got some beaches here that you can take a dip dun sa English Bay while you are relaxing during your break. Now, just to show the caricature map of the downtown area of Vancouver area. So this is the famous Stanley Park. This is the English Bay. Pinapaliwanag ko kanina that during summer you can take a swim here. In Canada Place, this is like a port for the international cruise lines. Rogers Arena here is the home of the Vancouver Canucks, their professional hockey team. Katabi niyan actually Olympic Stadium. Last 2010, they hosted the Winter Olympics sa Vancouver. And then the famous Science World. Pag nakita mo yung mga golf ball na yan, just Google it about Vancouver and the Science World is always out. And then this Granville Island, it's actually like a farmer's market every weekend where they can sell cheap produce for you, fruits, vegetables, and things like that. Okay. Now, dito sa gitna of the downtown area, this is where our two campuses are located. So at the West Pender campus, in just about 4 or 5 blocks, go to our new Vancouver House campus. So just to show some picture about the West Pender campus, this is the first campus that we have. Now it's also state-of-the-art, actually across the mall, and it's also good. What's also good about located in the downtown area is that you are near to almost all amenities such as drugstores, convenience stores, cafes and restaurants, of course malls, and the public transportation. Na mas madali kayo makasakay. It's also convenient kasi nga in the downtown area, pati yung campus namin is malapit lang siya. Actually, doon sa West Pender, katabi lang siya ng Granville Station. This is our new campus, which is the Vancouver House. It's a state-of-the-art campus, which we have just opened, and both of them just been having face-to-face classes last October intake. Okay, then we also have this 5-star QS rating, so it's also which means to say that yung aming educational undertakings for our students. It's always quality that we are giving or teaching our students here. Okay, some of the testimonials coming from Latin Americans, Indians, and from the Caribbean. Okay, so next time there will be some Filipinos there for our testimonials. It only means that we are giving up a very, very happy recommendations for incoming international students. Okay, so paano ba tayo mag-apply? Okay, so first go to Christina of Kanata or to Sir Francis or to Miss Catherine when you apply. Okay, then submit the following documents such as yung ating English proficiency test, academic transcript and certificate. This is the TOR and the diploma, yung inyong resume, and a copy of your passport. The English proficiency does not necessarily will be requiring you to submit the IELTS or the TOEFL. You can just submit a certificate of English from your employer that using English as a medium of communication in your workplace. All right. So you just go to your HR and ask for that certain certificate and submit it all together, this document. So we're going to give you the offer letter. Now, we have just now improved our admissions. We just hired about 20 or 25 new admission officers, and their training were already done. So yung utak ko sa iyo, Ma'am Catherine, magbibigay ko na yan by next week. Our turnaround time now will be going back to 3 to 5 days. Okay, so when you submit these documents, those offer letters will be given to you immediately. So in those offer letters, will be including yung ating tuition fee. This is subject to change by July, but it's only just a minimal amount. So it's going to be around, so far it's around 35,100 when you add the first year and the second year. Yung second year nyo talagang mas mura, hindi siya equal kasi kalahating taon na lang yan. It's just like 2 terms that you need to finish from UCW. Okay, now you also deduct the 7,000 as the 7,000 that scholarship. So that will be around 28,000 or 29,000 for the whole duration of the program. Divided by 5 because you can only have 5 terms finished. So that's around 5,500 per term. Initial tuition fee deposit supposedly is 7,900 Canadian dollars, but we lowered it down to 3,000 Canadian dollars for you to get the letter of acceptance. So your letter of acceptance is the document that you need to submit together with your other documents for visa filing. Okay, it only means that they have already paid partial tuition fee to the school. So once you got that LOA, and then let's say that you got your visa approved, that's the only time you need to pay the remaining balance of 4,900 Canadian dollars. All right. So yeah, that's it for my presentation of University of Canada West in the lovely city of Vancouver. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sir Alex. All right, guys. So we've heard from Miss Ina with Fanshawe College. So from the cold, snowy weather of Ontario, and then with Sir Alexis from UCW, again from the cold, rainy weather of Vancouver. Thank you so much, guys, for all the very informative presentation. So right now, I would like to give the floor to none other than Miss Catherine Manasan, our very own education counselor. You may know her, watched her, or have spoken to her. She has a YouTube channel. You can just search Catherine Manasan in YouTube and you'll be able to view all of our past webinars. They're recorded. We also have videos, very informative videos on the step-by-step guide on how you can become an international student in Canada. So right now, let's all give a round of applause to Miss Catherine Manasan. Hi, Miss Kat. Good afternoon. Good morning.
A round of applause pa. Thank you so much, Miss Christina. And thank you as well to our school representative, Sir Alex, and of course, Miss Ina of Fanshawe College. Now, I know you guys are so excited to learn more about the schools, and I know you have a lot of questions, so I will begin my presentation. It will be very short, so we can proceed with the question and answer portion. So let me just share my screen with you. Okay. So there. Once again, welcome to Study in Canada webinar with Kanata Education. So for today's topics, we will be discussing who we are as an agency, the services that we are offering, what is there in Canada, and of course, the process to start your application, the opportunities you will have as a student, and the future plans that you will have once you get to Canada. So maybe this time next year, you're already there and you'll spend a white Christmas in Canada. So Kanata means it's a village or coming together or meeting place. So we wanted us as an agency to be your first avenue when wanting to apply as a student in Canada. We are one of the leading educational agency in Manila for Canada. So we are solely focused on assisting prospective students who wants to study in Canada only. So we are not catering for Australia or UK or in the US. We have over 5 years experience in visa processing and student consultation, and we work directly with our partner schools in Canada, such as with Fanshawe College and UCW. So what are the services we are providing? We are here to achieve our students' dream of getting to Canada without the extra cost. So some of you will be asking what program is suitable for you to take in Canada. So this is our role to help you and assess you and provide you with the right program recommendation that you will take in Canada. So we will also do representation on behalf of you to the school, and will provide you a comprehensive list of requirements and guidelines during your school and visa application process. So Canada is the second largest country by land. So our speakers today or schools today are located in Central Canada for Fanshawe College, which is in Ontario, and of course, Western Canada, which is in British Columbia, which is in Western Canada. So Canada is known to be one of the most educated countries in the world, and aside from its affordability compared to other English-speaking countries, they are known to be having a diverse culture and society, of course, a healthy and safe community, and a lot of migration opportunities and work opportunities. And you can see earlier that they do have an exciting campus environment and, of course, a world-class innovation education. Now let's go to the documents required for you to start your application as a student in Canada. Of course, you need to have a valid passport to begin the process, and some of your academic transcripts, either your college, if you are a graduate of college, and your high school credentials if it's required. Our schools for today is waiving the IELTS requirement, so you don't need to submit that IELTS requirement for Filipinos, and we also need your updated CV or resume. Now, to begin your process, first you need to do a consultation with your counselor. So here at Kanata Education, we provide free assessment and consultation to our prospective students. So what we do during this stage is that we assess your background and provide you with the right program recommendation accordingly, so that your application when applying for the visa application is stronger to defend on your study plan or letter of purpose or statement of purpose when applying as a student. So there's no interview when applying for the student visa or student permit in Canada. So you have to write it down or explain it through the study plan. So during this stage, we will be able to help you how to defend why do you need to study in Canada and why do you need to study this program. After consultation and you have decided which program to take, you need to gather and submit all the required documents to Kanata Education. So So through applying with Kanata Education, we'll be able to waive the application fees from the schools, and of course for a faster processing time, and will be your first avenue to have increase with your school. So we'll be here to assess you and guide you all throughout this journey. So the next step will be applying you to the school. So both of our schools are part of the designated learning institution. and then we'll wait for the letter of acceptance. Once we get the letter of acceptance or offer letter, you need to confirm your slot by paying the tuition fee or the deposit fee required by the school. And once you've done that, we'll send you all the comprehensive list of documents and requirements. And we ask our students to get a medical exam or doing an upfront medical so that it can minimize the processing time for your visa application. You need to complete all the required visa requirements, and Kanata Education will help check all the documents and make sure that everything is in order, including your study plan. So we're here to help you write the study plan. Now, there are two types of visa application stream for our students. Number one is the regular stream, which is the most preferred option of visa applications for our students. So pre-pandemic or before the COVID-19 happened, the application assessment for regular stream runs between 6 to 8 weeks. At the moment, there are students who are getting their visa decisions within this time frame. So medyo bumabalik na tayo doon sa normal timing or normal application assessment. What are the requirements under the regular stream is that you need the proof of acceptance letter from the DLI or from the school. So some schools are not giving directly the letter of acceptance. They will start giving offer letter, and once you pay the deposit requirement, then that's the only time you can get the letter of acceptance. This is why it is important that you take note of the deadline for the deposit payment so that you can secure your slot or your seat from the school or for your program. Other than the letter of acceptance, it is required to have a proof of identity or your IDs, of course, your valid government issued IDs, your passport or your birth certificates, and of course, a proof of financial support. Now, this proof of financial support is very important. So how much is the required proof of financial support? The computation is 1 year tuition fee plus 1 year living cost of 10,000 Canadian dollars. So let's say the average school tuition fee for 1 year is 15,000 plus 10,000 Canadian dollars. That will be a total of 25,000 Canadian dollars or 1 million pesos. So that is the required proof of financial support. So with the regular stream, it is highly recommended that you have a third-party sponsor or someone who can give an affidavit of support that they will be the one shouldering all their expenses in Canada. But this doesn't have to happen literally. So you can just borrow their bank statements, bank certificates, and ask them to write an affidavit of support. So they will serve as your guarantor or someone who will be paying all their expenses in Canada. But they don't really have to do that. So the cost or expenses will still be coming from you. You also don't need to bring this much money when going to Canada. So hindi siya kailangan na sa sarili mong bank account if you do have a sponsor. And we highly recommend that your sponsor is a relative or a family member so that it will strengthen the relationship between the student and the sponsor. So mas strong yung application because of the relationship between the student and the sponsor. Okay, and then of course you need to write a letter of explanation. So with this part, I know a lot of students are very anxious, are scared of writing a letter of explanation or statement of purpose or study plan or SOP. So everyone's just watching YouTube, lahat na yata ng mga vlogs ng mga previous international students or yung mga nakarating na ng Canada. Talaga naghahanap sila ng ways or tips on how to write the study plan. So here at Kanata, we will give you a comprehensive guideline how to write the study plan, and we also do proofreading and will add more details or information accordingly doon sa background. So always remember, it's a case-to-case basis. It's highly dependent on an individual case. So hindi lahat ng makukuha nyo information na meron sa Facebook groups, DIY groups, or doon sa YouTube is very fitting doon sa case nyo. So it's very important that you do have or you also work with an agent. So That's one of the benefits of working with us or applying through Kanata Education. So once again, for a regular stream, you need to have a proof of acceptance from the school, a proof of identity, a proof of financial support, and your letter of explanation. Now, there is another application stream which is available for Filipino students, the Study Direct stream. So if you don't have a sponsor and you don't want to hassle your sponsor, so you can apply through the Study Direct stream. If the school is waiving the IELTS requirement for Filipinos or for you, then if you're applying through the SDS or Study Direct stream, you are required to submit an IELTS with a minimum band score of 6. And you are required to purchase a guaranteed investment certificate worth 10,000 Canadian dollars. So we'll give you a guideline how to do this, how to purchase the GIC or guaranteed investment certificate. This GIC will serve as your allowance on a monthly basis while studying in Canada. So this is good for 1 year. And you are required to pay 1 year tuition fee. So through the Study Direct stream, you are not required to have a sponsor. So you are advancing all the expenses for 1 year by purchasing a GIC worth 10,000 Canadian dollars, and you are already securing your 1 year tuition fee in Canada. And also you are required to write a study plan or statement of purpose. I will skip this part. Hindi pa siya na-delete sa presentation. But right now, there is a news that Canada will add COVID vaccine list, including the Sinovac and Sinopharm, which is part of the World Health Organization approved list of COVID vaccines. So they just announced it today that effective November 30, they will also accept vaccinated travelers with Sinovac or Sinopharm to enter Canada without a quarantine. So now that you have decided to study in Canada, welcome to your new life. So there are certain rules and regulations you need to follow as a student in Canada. Of course, you must be always enrolled at a designated learning institution, make progress towards completing the program, respect the conditions of your student permit, and you must stop studying and leave Canada once your permit expires. Now, there are a lot of exciting benefits and opportunities as an international student in Canada. One is that you can work while studying. Now, either you can work on campus, off campus, or if your program has a co-op component, then you can work all together through these 3 ways on how to get jobs. So on-campus jobs are highly dependent on the availability of jobs inside the campus. So you can either work in the Student Assistance Center, cafeteria, library, or in their offices. You don't need to have a work permit, but you must be a full-time student and holds a valid student permit. Now, off-campus jobs are jobs, of course, outside the campus. These are the establishments such as the coffee shops or what else? Salons and spa, and other students are working inside big corporations as well. So you can utilize LinkedIn for this, or the student assistance centers from the school that can help you polish your CVs and resumes and secure that job that you always wanted. So you also don't need to have a work permit, but you should have started studying and must be enrolled in a program. So if you get to Canada a month before your program starts, you cannot work straight away. So you still need to wait until you have started studying and already enrolled in a program. Some schools or programs of the schools has a co-op. So this is the same as an internship. It could be paid or not paid. So not all of them are guaranteed paid, but most likely these are paid co-op. During school semester, you are allowed to work 20 hours per week and 40 hours per week during semestral breaks or holiday breaks. Now, another benefit of an international student in Canada is that you can stay after you finish your program. So if your program is less than 8 months, you're not eligible for postgraduate work permit. And if your program is 1 year, you are eligible to apply for up to 1 year postgraduate work permit and 3 years postgraduate work permit for a 2-year program. So some of you guys may ask that the program you are eligible to apply is only for 1 year. What you can do is to apply for another 1-year program so that you can be eligible for up to 3 years postgraduate work permit. Now, what attracts most of our kababayans to apply as an international student is that they can bring their family with them. So even if you are an international student, you can bring your own family with you. Who are considered as dependents? It's your spouse or common law partner, and of course your children. Now, your parents and your sisters or your siblings are not considered as dependents. So applying with your spouse or common law partner will give them the benefit of having an open work permit. So they are allowed to work full-time as your dependent in Canada, and your children, of course, can study for free at the public schools in Canada. So yung public school for children or for your kids, it's for free, but if you're going to drop them at the daycare, if they are not old enough to be independent, then yun yung may bayad, or it will be an added cost for you. So once again, we are Kanata Education, and we are providing free assessment, unlimited consultation, and of course, free assistance for all our students. We don't collect processing fees. So I know you're asking for this or you're waiting for this. With all these services that we are providing, including the study plan writing, we don't collect processing fees. We only collect the 10,000 pesos security deposit, which is a confirmation that you will apply through us. And this is consumable later on for your visa application and biometrics fees. We only collect processing fees for our dependents or the students' dependents, not my dependents. So that's it for my presentation. Please don't forget to follow us on our Instagram and Facebook page. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you missed the first part of this presentation or from the school's presentation, you can always watch it on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for listening, and we can now proceed with the question and answer portion. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Miss Kat. Hello, guys. So I hope hindi pa kayo inaantok. It's actually raining from where I am, and hopefully umulan din sa inyo kasi ilang araw, isang linggo na talagang sobrang init sa Pilipinas. Also, I'd like to introduce our education counselor, Sir Francis of Kanata. So some of you have also known him from our webinars, and maybe some of you are already his student. So hello, Sir Francis. Good afternoon.
Christina, and good afternoon, everyone. Hi, Alex and Ina and Miss Catherine.
Hello.
Proceed now with our question and answer. I have here a question from our student. How long is the school application and when can they expect to receive their LOAs and letter offers? Ina?
So for Fanshawe College, if you will submit your documents to Kanata, again, we're waiving the application fee and you will receive your letter of acceptance as fast as 1 to 4 business days.
Business days. So what about in UCW, Alex? I know there's a lot of applications, especially for the MBA program. How soon can they expect to receive their letter offers?
Well, there was just a slight delay in the past few weeks because we had an influx of applications. Actually, it tripled, not only in the Philippines, but also all over the world, especially coming from India. So we just had our new team. We just hired about 25 to 30 people in our admissions to expedite everything. So hopefully, we will be going back doon sa 5 days parang kay Ina. Pero sumili si Ina 1 day lang. But hopefully in that time frame, in 5 days, with the assumption that everything and there's no questions doon sa documents natin. And we also don't have any application fee.
They can expect at least for a month, 4 weeks, or period.
Ang alin po?
Their letter offer.
Well, the lot offer once they had their tuition fee payment, we could also give it in a span of 3 to 5 days. Mas mabilis yung LOA kasi bayad mo na lang naman yun eh. And then we just gonna process. The long part lang naman is when they will be submitting the initial documents because it's gonna get reviewed by our admissions committee, kung pwede siya sa direct MBA or with the foundation. Doon lang naman nagtatagal yun.
Need to settle the deposit fees of their deposit fees or tuition fee payments. Alex.
Once they have their offer letter, it will be given there. Well, always naman 3 months before. So if your intake will be in April, it should be done. I mean, the payment should be done by January or by February. So it give you much more time doon sa application mo ng visa. So you could make it doon sa April intake.
But in Fanshawe College, Ina?
So once that you receive your letter of acceptance, you have 30 days to pay the deposit of 2,300 Canadian dollars. And then for the balance of your first semester tuition fee, it's due around 2 to 3 months before the start of class. So for example, kung May intake ka, the deadline of your first semester tuition fee for you to be officially enrolled in the program would be around March. So 2 to 3 months.
Okay, so I have a question here from the chat box. Miss Ina, does Fanshawe have a master's program in education, specifically teaching English?
Okay.
But in general, yeah, master's program in education.
All right. So probably just to give you an information about the educational landscape in Canada. So if you're looking for a master's program, the only institution that can offer these types of programs would be universities. So for colleges like Fanshawe, the highest credential that we can offer is the graduate certificate program. So if you have a degree or you have a master's degree as well, or you have master's units, ang recommended sa'yo is a graduate certificate program. Specifically for teaching English, we have TESOL. We have a TESOL program available for you. Something about education, we have autism and behavioral science. So those are the two programs that are commonly offered to students with master's degree in education.
Thank you. For Sir Alex, aside from Masters in Business Administration, do you offer any other master's program for our students?
We only specializes for business, so that's why I'm emphasizing the MBA program natin. So we also have those bachelor's program, but I explained a while ago. Mas bagay sa mga students na mag-apply na with bachelor's yung take up the master's program nila.
All right, thank you. Yes, Sir Francis.
Does the school offer scholarship for the international students? And if yes, how much and how do students apply for these scholarships? Ina.
So for our scholarships, it's merit-based. So unfortunately, wala kaming entry scholarships as of the moment. So once that you start your program, if you get a GPA for your first semester, you can apply for the scholarships that we offer. So normally it's around 500 to 2,000 Canadian dollars. And these scholarship opportunities are normally posted in our social media pages in the website. And also you will receive it in your Fanshawe email if there are a specific scholarship opportunity that you can apply to.
The student has an IELTS score. Does Fanshawe has an additional discounts or scholarship for students with IELTS results?
Yes. So since we are an SBS country, since kahit na waive yung IELTS sa Fanshawe, if you're going to apply for SDS, kailangan talaga yung IELTS. I think ang advice ko na lang is to get the IELTS academic kasi most schools in Canada, yung mga English scholarships nila, IELTS academic yung hinahanap. So if you have an IELTS academic score and it's still valid by the time you start your program, you can apply for a scholarship. So 1,000 to 1,500 Canadian dollars, and this will be awarded to you by the second semester. Kasi kailangan din namin yung first sem GPA mo to be awarded of the scholarship.
Babawi yung ginastos no for the IELTS exam.
Yes,
So
exactly.
for Sir Alex, is the 7,000 Canadian dollars discount yearly discount but for international students, or is a one-time scholarship fee for the student?
Yeah, it's just a one-time deduction, yung 7,000 natin. So if it is, let's say, 36,000, minus nyo na yung 7,000. So that will be around 29, if I'm not mistaken, 29,000. So
For whole program.
yeah, for the whole program.
Okay. Another question from our chat box is, how much is the processing fee for dependents? All right. Now, since you've heard Miss Catherine mention that Kanata doesn't charge student applicants with any assistance or processing fee, but for the dependents, it's a different story. So if the student choose to acquire Kanata services on the visa application of their dependents, so that would be their spouse or common law partner or their minor children. So we have these, the processing fee is 30,000 pesos for adult, that's for the spouse or common law partner, and 20,000 pesos for minor dependents per person. What is included on that? It's included on the assistance fee is included on that, assistance processing fee, documentation, and the writing or assistance on the writing of the statement of purpose. Now, what about the GIC for SBS? Because since dependents already have extra charge for the assistance fee, they also has an equivalent show money required. So for adult, that's your spouse or common law partner, it's 4,000 Canadian dollars in additional to the students' show money, and 3,000 Canadian dollars for minors per head. All right. So I hope you were able to take that down.
Is for Miss Ina, is IELTS waived in pharmacy technician program in Fanshawe College?
So the answer is no. It's if you will apply to any schools for pharmacy technician, IELTS is required, even for domestic students as well, because it's the Association of Pharmacy Tech that requires that. So, but for Fanshawe kasi, you still have to take pre-health. So, in your application, in your initial application, pwedeng hindi ka muna mag-submit ng IELTS. But when it's time that you will study the pharmacy tech, you have to submit your IELTS.
Is it a 2-year program or a 3-year program for the pharmacy technician?
So technically,
course?
it's a 3-year program, because 1 year pre-health and then 2-year pharmacy technician program. Same goes with other health sciences. May pre-health na required.
Do you help international students in looking for their part-time job? So unfortunately, we don't. The responsibility to look for the part-time job is for the students. But I believe Fanshawe College and UCW assist their students via career and student centers in applying for a part-time job, and also for their other concerns with the college. So aside from the part-time jobs, they can also ask assistance for the postgraduate work permit application and more.
Okay. A question here about co-op. So I think this is directed to Miss Ina. Is the co-op included on the 20 hours per week allotted maximum time for international student to work? So parang consolidated ba siya? Parang ganon.
Okay, so when you are in your co-op term, you will be parang full-time work na yun sa isang company. So usually full-time work in Canada is 40 hours per week. So it's still considered as an academic term. So you can still work 20 hours per week on top of your co-op, but isipin nyo din yung pagod nyo. Kasi if you will add more work aside from your regular job, baka mas mahirapan kayo. Pero yeah, you can still work during co-op.
Pumumba na lang kayo nun.
Oo nga eh.
I used to handle school with co-op. That always the same question. Hindi na sinasabi mo, baka pumumbat mag-collapse na lang kayo nun.
Thank you. Yes, Sir Francis. Any other questions?
The visa application. So as per checking from the IRCC website, the processing time for the student permit application outside Canada is up to 14 weeks. So it is still recommended to apply as early as possible. So para at least more time to prepare since matagal yung results, so you have a lot of time to prepare for your departure from the Philippines. And also, mas maganda pa rin to apply as early as possible for the school application because you cannot apply for a student permit or student visa if you're not accepted in a DLI school. So Ms. Ina and Sir Alex mentioned a while ago about the processing time for their respective colleges. So at least we know the duration of the process para at least makapag-prepare tayo for school application.
Hi, hi everyone. Sorry, bigla na ako sumisingit. I have a question here for Sir Alex. So if the student doesn't have a background, or I mean it's not a graduate of business and wanted to apply for the MBA program, but he or she is working as a manager in the company, is he eligible for the MBA?
Yes, ayun yung example ko, example number 2. So si student gumraduate ng ibang course pero manager na siya sa kanyang professional experience, then eligible siya for our direct MBA program.
Okay, that's great. And what about those who are not eligible but must take the foundations? That would be an additional cost for the student?
Yes, that's an additional 7,000 Canadian dollars kasi but we can find some things in there. Siguro sa one-on-one natin with Ma'am Catherine, paano natin i-appeal para mawala naman yung MBA direct program. Okay?
And a last one follow-up question, is the insurance included with the tuition fee?
There is, I think, a 3-month or one-term insurance from GuardMe kasama doon sa tuition fee na binayaran niya.
Okay, that's great. I hope it answers your question. Someone from YouTube who has that question. Now, I do have a question for Miss Ina with regards to the 1+1 program. Since this aspiring student saw the program recommendation from our page for construction project management, but he wanted a 3 years postgraduate work permit. Can you discuss more about the 1+1 program and what could be the requirements and what must the student do when he or she wants to apply for the 1+1 to be eligible for the 3 years postgraduate work permit?
Okay, so for construction project management, it's only a 1-year program. If your goal is to get up to 3-year post-graduation work permit, if you're in the field of architecture and you have experience with Autodesk Revit, you might want to consider yung BIM and integrated practice. So for that program, aside from your college credentials, kailangan din namin ng certificate that you have a knowledge or you've had a training for Autodesk Revit. So it's part of your admission requirements. So for 1+1, not only for construction project management and BIM, but for other programs as well, when you apply on the onset in your initial application in 1+1, ang advantage niyan is that when you apply for visa, mas maganda yung narrative nyo for the SOP. Also, when it's approved, covered na yung 2 programs sa validity. So you don't need to extend in Canada. And in terms of payments, you only need to pay the tuition fee deposit once for the first program and the first semester tuition fee of the first program. Yung second semester plus yung second program tuition and fees, sa Canada nyo na siya kailangan bayaran. So
Okay.
that's the advantage of a 1+1.
Yeah. Is it possible for the student to change their second program in case they applied for the 1+1?
So if you are already in Canada, it's possible. But of course, we have to check kung available pa yung program na yon that you're changing into by the time that you request for that change.
Okay, that's very good to know. Guys, so do you still have any more questions, Miss Christina, Sir Francis?
Assessment and consultation, we really need your background, so we can't do it here. So make sure to book an appointment with Kanata. So I believe Miss Catherine already posted the link wherein you can book an appointment with our counselors, with me, Miss Catherine, and Miss Christina.
Yes. And also you can send us a message on our Facebook page and we can do a one-on-one consultation and an assessment so that we can discuss more about your background and of course the program recommended for you. And by the way, I wanted to highlight that we do not offer any PR advices or migration consultancy because we are not an immigration consultant agency. We are focused on providing assistance and advices on the education pathway to Canada. So migration is not included. This is why we don't collect processing fees. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you to Miss Ina of Fanshawe College and Sir Alex of UCW. And thank you to everyone also watching from the YouTube. And I'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next time for another webinar session with other schools. And we are looking forward to accepting your application with Kanata Education. See you guys next time. Bye.